So, Saturday night, May 30th, Jay-Z headlined his picnic in Philadelphia with The Roots. And before he even got into the set, before he even sang one song, he opened up with a 4-minute a cappella freestyle. There wasn't any beat, there wasn't any backup, just Hove with a microphone. And he dissed Drake, he dissed Nicki, he dissed Kanye West, he dissed Tory Lanez, he also dissed Dame Dash, Jaguar Wright, and Tony Buzbee caught a stray, all in 4 minutes. So he dissed all these people who, have been coming at him except for 50 Cent. You'd expect 50 Cent would also be part of the people that he was going to diss in that 4-minute freestyle, but no, he had something extra special served and, planned out for 50 Cent. Allegedly, child, allegedly. So Sunday, May 31st, tell me why I'm opening my X account and I am seeing this Diddy freak off tape starring Diddy, some ex worker, and 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into the details, but y'all, that thing was small. Anyway, before we get into all of the detail, because there's a lot of things we have to unpack in this video, I just need to apologize, y'all, because I haven't been consistent with posting videos on this channel. Um, I have been MIA for a month, and I apologize, but y'all, I'm gonna make it up to y'all. Okay, so not even a month ago, this is what Afro Z did and said in a GQ interview. So he basically says straight from the horse's mouth that he doesn't know if battling and beefing needs to be a part of hip hop culture anymore. Okay, he doesn't know if battling and beefing needs to be a part of hip hop culture anymore. This was after this failed attempt of using Kendrick Lamar to ruin Drake's reputation. Failed attempt, okay? After Kendrick Lamar basically failed to end Drake's career, Afro Z came out talking about peace, love, and harmony in hip hop.
Not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Now, child, let us get into the meat of this pot. Let us get into the tea. So, in the freestyle, Afro Z went after Drake first. Now, y'all know that Drake dropped his album Iceman, and in some of the records on Iceman, Drake was dissing Beyonce and Afro Z. So, in Janice Shut the F Up, he rapped The Jig Is Up. Now, if you know that frame, The Jig Is Up, Nicki used that on her tweets when she was dragging Afro Z by his left front when he was still wearing his left front. That was last year, where she was up on his head top. Now, Afro Z got on stage and clapped back at Drake. So, yo, child, he told Drake that Drake is looking at the wrong chart. He said, "You're a worker. Your contract has you locked in perpetuity, meaning that every penny that Drake makes off his music goes back to his label." So he's saying Drake doesn't own his music. Drake doesn't own any rights to his music. Jay-Z owns his own music. He owns rights to his own music. That is the difference that he was pointing out. And now this had a lot of people talking, and now a lot of people, bringing up net worth, like who's richer than who? Whose catalog is more expensive than who? Was done with Drake, he went after Nicki Minaj. So y'all know that for the latter part of 2025, Nicki Minaj had been on his head top. Okay. She had been dragging him by his lace front. So she also did tweet, she blamed him for the NFL. She said, NFL fire some N words and call us. And Jay-Z rapped about Nicki Minaj. So he talked about Nicki, her husband, and her son. So he said that lady is back on her stuff. Sounds like she's in love with him. So he's referring to Nicki Minaj and her husband. And then he also talked about her husband, saying that Ken can't even pick up their kid, which is wrong because Nicki Minaj posted photos of Kenneth at the park after she was beefing with Cardi B last year, and Cardi B said, "Take your son and your husband to the park," and Nicki Minaj posted those pics, and Cardi B went mute. So there's that. So Kenneth can actually be at a park with Nicki Minaj, and there's other kids there as well. When Jay-Z was rapping that part, yeah, this is a part that got me. So when Jay-Z was rapping about that part, child, two sides of a coin. So there's this video from when Nicki Minaj was performing years ago, and she was, talking like she was stuttering.
I mean, I don't fuck with horses. I said it's 700 horses when we fixing to leave.
That lady back on the stuff, she sound like she in love with him. Her kid can't even take their kids. Enough of
People are
them.
saying that JayZ watched that video clip and then he is trying to rap like Nicki when Nicki was stuttering. So Nicki was talking, she wasn't rapping actually. She was talking and she was stuttering. So they are saying that he watched that video and got even. I mean, that's what the Bayhive are saying. So they're saying that Lazy watched that video, started like that, and he's trying to portray like Nicki Minaj when she was stuttering, okay? And then the other side of the coin is saying he was so scared to talk about kids. That's why he was stuttering. Because when Nicki Minaj drags him, I don't want to hear nobody saying, "Oh, don't involve kids in this." When he brought Nicki's kid into this first, when Nicki Minaj has beef with somebody, she doesn't bring their kids into it, except for that Cardi B situation. Probably that's gonna be the last time. Hopefully, I don't know, child. But they're saying he was stuttering. This is not funny, but child. So they're saying that he was stuttering because Nicki Minaj, when she comes for him, child, she's gonna go below the belt. And they're saying that he shouldn't even be talking about kids, knowing that his own kids have got some issues. I already talked about this in my previous video. So, and when he talked about that, the Barbs don't play. So when he talked about that, the Barbs started digging up receipts and photos and videos of Rumi, of Sir Carter, sorry, not Rumi. Because we always see Rumi around and Blue Ivy, but we rarely see Sir Carter. And some child, they're saying nasty things, but child, he brought that upon himself. So instead of him talking ish about Kanye's kids, because I'm not saying that's right, y'all, but Kanye actually called Beyonce and Afrozi's kids retarded last year. He called them the R word, but he didn't say ish about their kids. Instead, he decided to talk about Nicki Minaj's kids, and Nicki has never, not once, said anything bad about Afrozi and Beyonce's kids. Okay, she's always kept it a beam with Afrozi, not involving Beyonce in their kids. But child, let me know how y'all think this is gonna unfold. Do you think Nicki Minaj is actually gonna? I don't know, child. I don't think Nicki's gonna go for it. I don't think she's gonna involve the kids in this. But Nicki is yet to respond. She has been quiet because a lot of people have been dragging Afro Z by his Afro child. It is not looking good. Now he also did drag Kanye West because Kanye, like I mentioned, did post that tweet and delete calling Beyonce and Afrozi's kids the R word. He made those disgusting comments about their kids online. And now Afrozi addressed that on stage, so he defended his kids by calling them Wonder Kids. Now, I don't know, who do y'all think is gonna respond first? I really hope Nicki Minaj doesn't respond because the general public, the timeline, they have been tearing his ASS app on social media. This did not go as planned. Now, here's what I think is gonna happen. So if Nicki Minaj responds, I know that the people that are working on that camp, Billboard, New York Times, they already have their story set. TMZ, they already have their story set, how they're gonna publish it to make Nicki look like the bad guy. So that if Nicki Minaj responds, they're gonna say, oh, Nicki ambushes Beyonce. Oh, Nicki says this and this and this about, Beyonce's kids, and then he is probably going to use that as his rollout. Okay, so he was supposed to release his album before the Roots Picnic even started, and I talked about that in my previous video. And I say that Beyonce was going to carry that album on her back because nobody is streaming Afro Z solo songs in 2026. Nobody. And Nicki Minaj, when Nicki said she wasn't gonna drop her album, guess who else said they're not gonna drop their album? It's crickets on that franchise. We never even heard anything about an album date. Nothing. So if Nicki Minaj responds, we're gonna see a lot of negative publication, a lot of negative news, and then he's gonna start his album rollout, trying to make it seem like, they are the victims in all of this. That's definitely how they're going to spin this. So I don't know if Nicki Minaj is gonna respond. I really hope she doesn't. If she does, then she should keep it strictly in the music. Okay, normal tweets. She should just keep it casual, keep it very demure, keep it very classy. And child, all the barbs are very, very excited. Okay, the barbs are excited. There's oh my, yo. But let me know your thoughts on this, child. Now, I talked about, I don't know if I mentioned this, I think I may have forgotten, child. Sheesh, it has been a long day. So I talked about how Afro Z dissed all these people except for 50 Cent. That's because he had something special planned for 50 Cent. Okay, and allegedly his team is the one responsible for leaking that X tape of Diddy's freak offs. And especially, I mean, there's so many videos of Diddy's freak offs. So why is it that the video with 50 Cent's baby mama get leaked? Okay, 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy, is in that video with Diddy, and there's also another ex-worker. Um, why is it that that's the only one that leaked? And the morning after he actually dissed everybody else at the Roots picnic, word on the street is that Jane Doe allegedly is 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy. Now 50 Cent hasn't confirmed that, okay? And Daphne Joy actually came out denying those allegations, saying that she is not an ex worker. So she posted on her IG saying that the claims in Rodney Jones' lawsuit were 100% false and character assassination. So she's saying that she wasn't regularly involved in this freak offs with Diddy, but the tape still circulated. And DJ Vlad came out and said that the tape is real. Okay, so it is not false. So if you saw that tape on your timeline, child, comment. Let me know your thoughts, child, on that tape and on this video. Just, yo, it was, I didn't want to see that ish on my timeline. Ish, damn. Like I said, child, it was a base. Anyway. Now, everybody, I was also waiting to see what 50 was gonna say, okay? I kept on refreshing my timeline because I was like, yo, I want to see what 50 has to say. 50 and his baby mama kind of do not get along. So he responded, I mean, exactly how 50 would respond by trolling. So he got on his IG and he said, Free Diddy, he has gone through enough being bored with no P word. I'm like, I mean, yo, I hollered when I read, yo. He executive produced that Diddy documentary and he's on IG tweeting, he's on IG typing, Free Diddy, he has gone through. I'm sorry. If y'all saw that video, oh my, yo. Anyway, that is besides the point. Anyway, that was a caption. He has gone through enough being born with no. And word on this, the streets were saying, it was a wild place. So they were saying that that's why he was like that, orchestrating all these free calls because he had to compensate somehow. Okay. Now, y'all, do not forget, child, that 50 is also the same person who actually leaked Rick Ross's baby mama's ex day back in the day to embarrass Rick Ross. And now here we are. His own baby mama's tape just leaked. So who's embarrassed? I don't think 50 is embarrassed. Because he is probably going to use this tape to, win custody of his kids. So he also did take to his ex account and he tweeted, She's not a victim. Sarah is, can you imagine going to 8th grade to find out this is your mom? The court system in LA thinks it's fine. Damn. Now he did, I think they have a custody battle thing going on with Daphne, so he did try to fight for custody, but of course in LA say that the son actually stays with the mom. But anyway, hopefully he will try to appeal again and try to fight for custody. And with this tape that is actually leaked, this is actually ammunition. He could use this tape and, go to trial with this again, try to get custody of his kid. But y'all, let me know what you'll think about this. But y'all, that is all I have for you guys in this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think Nicki Minaj is going to respond to JayZ, to Afro Z? And do you think that the tape that just leaked actually changes anything for Daphne Joy legally? I mean, child, let me know your thoughts on this. But I will see you guys in my next video. I mean it this time. I will not drop off the face of the earth. But yeah, bye.